Hey, Matt.
There's your sign. All right, we're back, y'all. It's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks. How long's it been, Jeff? Tyler?
Yes. I don't know. A couple weeks.
A minute and a couple weeks. A couple weeks and a minute. Okay.
Paying
Been a while.
attention. I'm trying to listen to my ears.
We got a lot to talk about. Oh, trust me, they'll let us know if the sound's not working. We got a really, really good show in store for y'all tonight because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to try to squeeze it all in the hour that we have to squeeze it in. But first and foremost, everybody, if you haven't already, give Angler's Choice Marine a follow. If you're in the market for a new boat, whether it's Nitro, Triton, Ranger, check them out. Lexington, North Carolina, Spindale, North Carolina, Martinsville, Virginia, 3 locations. And on top of that, do not forget, and I just talked about this the other day on my social media page, but ACM Tackle, acmtackle.com. Check out the website. Trust me. Just check out the website. You need a discount. Use code LTF10 for 10% off. Free shipping over $50. You get a free sun shirt right now for any orders over $25. Long sleeve sun shirt, like nice sun shirt. Okay, I had a couple people message me and say they didn't get their sun shirt. Well, you have to add it to your cart. First of all, it doesn't like just jump in there. You got to actually add it. Not to be a smart aleck about it, but that's why you didn't get it. So it's like same, Tackle Warehouse, and you get the free T-shirts or whatever. You got to add it to your cart. I think there's a little thing at the top of the page there. You just had to click on it and add the shirt to your cart. Let them know what size you want, and roll from there. But the cool thing about ACM Tackle is they've got really, really, really high-end products, like all kinds of glide baits, big swim baits. If you're into big swim bait fishing, you definitely need to check the site out. If you're into like really hard to find colors, like even of some of your Mega Bass jerk baits and all kinds of different crankbaits and the OSP stuff and all that stuff, check them out because I promise you, you'll see some stuff on that website that you will not find anywhere else in the U.S. Not all of it, but some of it. But great website, and use code LTF10 for 10% off too. All right, let's get right into it. So special guest tonight, I'm going to announce both of them now, and we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about a Bassmaster Classic preview. We're going to wrap up the first 2 elite tournaments. We're going to talk a little bit about the Bassmaster Open at Lake Eufaula, and we're going to. Well, I have a guest here that's actually going to tell y'all exactly how Redcrest is going to be won this week. That way, if he's wrong, he's the one who looks like an idiot, not me. No, we're all going to throw our 2 cents in actually on that subject, but we're going to get to that at the end of the show. So first off, fellow elite angler Shane LaHue in the house. Shane's been on the show before. Thanks for coming back. And we have a new guest, a very special guest, the national champion, Louis Monetti. Do I need to say that like they do on Inglourious Bastards?
You can.
Like
you absolutely
Monetti,
can.
Louis Monetti.
Yeah.
And the national champion, Bassmaster Classic qualifier, EQ. They're calling it EQ. EQ. Okay, I got to get used to that.
That's a fancy new name.
Yeah, it's a fancy new name of the Opens. EQ Angler this year. Got him down in the studio, man. And thanks for coming because I'm sure you've been pretty busy lately.
Yeah, I've been just running around, getting the boat together. Just got back from Eufaula like 2 days ago. It's been a whirlwind for sure, but getting ready for the Classic. I'm psyched to be here today.
So this will be your first Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah.
You excited?
Freaking psyched. It's a dream come true.
Have you been up there yet?
I was there in 19.
Okay.
So yes. Yeah.
No, you mean to a Classic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, have you been to the lake? Have you done any pre-fishing at Loudon Tellico?
Absolutely not. No.
Dude, I knew I liked you. I knew I liked you.
We don't do that around here.
That's right.
No.
That's right. You and before we dive into the elite wrap up, touch on exactly what you just said. I want to hear your reasoning behind why you are not going to run off and pre-practice for the biggest event of your life so far.
Yeah. So I've just always kind of been a fish the moment kind of guy. Whenever I've pre-practiced or known too much about a lake in advance, I just always seem to struggle. I like kind of just fishing the conditions, fishing what's ahead of me. I don't know. I pre-practiced for the national championship on Winyah Bay. That was prior to the bracket. I got to the bracket from winning Team of the Year, not from the national championship. And so I said, well, why not try and win the national championship as well and pre-practice for us? Yeah, pre-practice for it. And sucked a whole lot. So that kind of left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I just like getting kind of the couple days beforehand and rolling with it. I almost especially like the break at the Classic. I don't know. Those words could come back to haunt me.
You like it?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Well, but now, first of all,
There is no break.
there is no break. Shane nailed that. You think there's a break, but there's really no break.
Yeah.
It is truly a 9-10 day event. I mean, you're doing something every day. Monday, what they call moving day. That's probably your least busiest day.
Right.
But every other day, you're gonna have plenty to do.
Yeah.
But it's a blast. It's the greatest tournament experience of my career. I'm sure Shane can attest to that.
Yep, for sure.
And man, it's to do it at your age. That's pretty impressive.
I'm pumped.
And what you just said, like you're leaps and bounds above a lot of fishermen in your era, in your age class, and because there's not many people, and it took me years to learn how to fish by the seat of my pants and how to trust my instincts and trust my gut decisions and not ever second guess myself. And Shane can tell you, like, to be successful year in and year out and be consistent, that's how you have to fish, because you can't just base it off history and practice and things like that. You're gonna lose more often than you do well, you know. So I think you've got you're on the right path, and I'm excited, dude.
Thanks, man.
I'm ready to sit. Now, I'm not saying I want you to go out there and win the Classic, because Shane and I, we don't want to win the Classic, but
good luck to you.
But
Thank
but
you.
good luck
Thank
to
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it, but appreciate it.
No, it's going to be a lot of
we
fun,
all
man.
need
And that's a good time of year too, right? To where
Yeah.
fishing by the seat of your pants is really makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because it's the fish are moving every day. They got one thing on their mind. They're eating, and then they're going to spawn. And whoever can stay one step ahead of them in that event and make the adjustments each day is the guy that's going to win the tournament. And that's the guy who deserves to win the tournament, right?
Yeah.
You know, we've had ledge tournaments over the years at Kentucky Lake and stuff back in the day to where, you know, ledge fishing's fun, right? Going offshore and catching 100 bass is great. You can't really do that much anymore, but thanks to electronics. But the thing about those tournaments is they could truly be won off of one hole. You know, like I saw several ledge events over my career won off of one spot.
Right.
Fixing to take it to the dang house.
Right. This is not going to be one of those tournaments, you know, and that's what's so exciting about a March Classic. None of our classics have been like that, right? So you're going to have to adjust, and may the best man win. you
Yeah.
know. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Shane for a second. We're going to talk about, because he did a lot better at Okeechobee than I did. I came in with which I did say that might be my best finish ever on Okeechobee in my career. But I finished 56 at Okeechobee. Second day, never got any really big bites. The lake's in a pretty tough spot right now.
It is.
Talk a little bit about the lake conditions and kind of what people need to be aware of. You know, I know you know a little bit about that just as much as I do. Scott Martin kind of shed some light on it to weigh in on day 3. But talk about the lake conditions and how you caught them. And of course, your roommate, Cobb, dropping 39,000 pounds or whatever he did on the second day of the tournament. And might have thrown you a little bitty bone.
Well,
Did he
I
throw
mean,
you a little bitty
yeah,
bone?
but I had to watch him catch 32 before he let me catch one.
But what the one way?
It was like 6.
There you go. All right, go ahead. Knock it out.
Yeah, I mean, like you touched on, the lake is, man, it's, I don't want to say it's sad, but it's a little bit sad compared to when we went back in the day when we were fishing FLW. Last time I was there was probably 2013, 2014, something like that. And there was a lot of grass in the lake, a lot of clean water that is kind of gone. I think it's, mostly because of hurricanes, probably a little bit of spraying. I'm not afraid to say it, but
High water.
also high water.
High water.
There's
Sustained high water.
a lot of factors. I think they sprayed a lot, and then they got a lot of high water, and that killed a lot of the grass, way more than they thought they were going to kill. So there's very, very small areas that you could fish on Okeechobee, because most of the time in Florida, everybody knows when the water's dirty, you're not going to catch that many fish. Like, that's just the way Florida is. Those fish,
It's weird.
they are
isn't it?
sight feeders. They're almost like a smallmouth, is what I mean. It's a smallmouth crossed with a largemouth and some grass. Like, that's what they are. They got to be able to see to feed, and so yeah. I mean, there was very, very small areas. I stumbled upon a very small area that first day of practice when it was windy, and typical Florida, I caught a couple 2-pounders. 2.5 pounders. I had a terrible practice. I caught one fish over 4 pounds in practice, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start there because I got multiple bites in one area. But they were all like 2.5 pounders. They were just better quality males.
I'm gonna say them are pretty good. Those are pretty good
Yeah,
bites.
right. They were not your normal 12-inch. So typically when you go to Okeechobee, it's a bunch of 12, 13 inchers, and then you catch like 5 or 6 pounder for me over when I've
That's
been
right.
there.
Yep.
So I started in that area, and it was, good for me for 3 days. For Cobb, it was very, very good on day 3. We obviously share stuff all the time. And he found an area within that area, which it was big enough for us to kind of roam around. Swindle was in there. So there was a couple top 10s made in that area, or top 15s. And
Now,
I
was
just,
that the Worm Cove or Horse? Was that Worm Cove area?
It was above it.
Okay, just
It
above
was, there was only 4, it was really only me, Swindle, and Cobb that started in there.
Okay.
It was kind of, we had something in an area, or in a lake, especially like Okeechobee was in the state it was in, for it to fish so small and there to be 40, 50 boats in, 3 or
Yeah.
4 areas.
Yeah.
We got lucky and found like a 200-yard stretch that had enough. It had enough clean water.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was like gin clear, but it had enough. And so I just pretty much fished there the whole time.
And you ended up wearing that tournament.
31st.
Okay.
I
Solid
had
finish.
a rough day 3. I only had 10 pounds. No big bites the third day. So.
Well, Okeechobee is one of those places that, here's one thing. Like, everybody out there that saw that tournament and saw the weights, I'm sure they were like, wow, they're crushing them. Well, like Shane said, the problem is what you were seeing was there were so few areas with
Right.
good, clean, quality water for those fish to live and feed in, that all the fish were piled in those areas, and they were just absolutely getting pounded.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of that, the sustained high water and them not releasing enough water is the number one issue that's going on down there right now. And that is causing a lot of that dirty water to circulate throughout the lake. It's sad because I came out of the Clewiston Lock the first day of practice. Not the Clewiston Lock, but the Clewiston ramp just outside the lock there. And I came out the Clewiston Channel. Mm-hmm. And I looked to my right and I looked to my left, and there was no east wall. There was no Coop Bay.
Yeah.
There's nothing there anymore.
Nothing.
And it is just dirty water.
Right.
And that's a sad deal. That is definitely something that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. I know Scott Martin is heading up a Save the Lake project down there, trying to get people involved and reaching out to to some politicians and things like that to try to get them involved to release some water out of that lake and get it, even if they release the water and they get it back down to 14 and a half, 15, I asked Scott, it's still going to take about 2 years for that thing to cycle back and get some of the natural
Clean.
vegetation back in the lake.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to have, I think so McMillan, Brandon,
Yep.
he told Atkins, he said, they really honestly need to go drop it back to 9 feet.
9 feet.
Wow.
Okay.
He said, because it'll kill, there's a lot of that muck on the bottom, and that doesn't filter anything.
Right,
It
that's
just
true.
makes everything worse.
Yep.
He said, so the sunlight will actually penetrate that stuff, and it'll kill it, so where you don't have to spray it.
So Harney Pond, I said Coop Bay doesn't exist, East Wall doesn't exist.
Harney Pond is minimal.
Harney Pond basically doesn't exist. The
Right.
North Shore, where all that hydrilla was, doesn't exist anymore. Have you ever been down there?
Never.
So,
Want
but
to.
you've heard in the past about North Shore and
Oh, God.
East Wall and Coop Bay and all. It just looks
Yeah.
like a just solid muddy water is all it is now.
Yeah.
It used to be Kissimmee grass and all kinds of pads and just
Christ.
reed heads and just beautiful.
Yeah.
And now it's really it's a bad deal, man. And there needs to be a lot of attention
Because
shed
it's
on
still
that.
a good lake. Like, I mean, you still see the fish.
There's still giant fish
Yeah.
that live there.
Oh, yeah, and there's
But the
a
fish
lot.
didn't die.
No.
They just don't have the habitat that they used to have, and in turn, that's gonna hurt the lake because the tourism income that comes from people flocking to that lake and the snowbirds and stuff that come down and spend the winters there. Even the crappie fishing down there, which is second to
phenomenal.
none in
Right.
Florida, right?
Yeah.
Is it's all taking a hit, and I think it needs to be addressed.
It almost reminds me of like here. Like I know like there was a bunch of grass before I came down here. There was a bunch of grass in a lot of these lakes, but we have kind of secondary cover in the Carolinas.
Yep.
Where we have docks and rock and hard cover and wood, whereas Florida, it's vegetation or it's nothing.
It's grass.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
And
if
that
you're
goes-
killing
that's
off
true.
the vegetation, it's
Yep.
it's a bad deal.
They got nothing to live on.
Yeah.
100%. Hey, Tim, good evening. Angie, hey, thanks for the kind words. Ryan, what's up? Travis, what's up? Appreciate y'all tuning in. I know we got over 100 viewers now. And again, great show tonight, y'all. A couple very special guests. But we're going to continue with our elite wrap-up. And we're going to jump over to Lewis and talk a little bit about the classic hype and how much he's looking forward to that. But rolling over to Lake Seminole, similar but not to Okeechobee.
Yeah.
You know, they say Florida bass. Yeah. You hear all that crap. Let me tell you something about Seminole. There's a boat lane markers down there. Don't go outside of them.
No.
Don't go this far outside of them.
No.
Like, literally.
No.
Like, I didn't tear anything up, but I hit a lot of stumps. And it was honestly amazing that nobody really knocked an engine off down there, because there's always like a Brian New in the field somewhere that just wants to take off through the timber and just say, just trim her up and let her eat.
Perch knocked off a lower unit.
Oh, okay, there was one.
Yeah.
So Perch lost
did.
the lower unit.
Yeah.
But going into Lake Seminole, and I'll talk about it just for a second, and I'll let you touch on it. We looked at the weather forecast. I'm sure you did too, and I started licking my lips because I was like, oh, every bass in the lake is going to the bank. Well, that wasn't the case.
No, it wasn't.
Now, some bass went to the bank, and I dedicated my whole tournament to fishing shallow because of the weather forecast. I mean, we had lows. When I got to Seminole and dropped my boat in the water first day of practice, temperature on the main body was 59 and a half for me. Now, I run Lowrance, so you're
Yeah, it was
Garmin, you're
probably
like 57.
57.
But it was really 59 because Lowrance is accurate. No.
Oh, here we
No,
go.
I'm kidding. Anyway, the first day of the tournament, morning of the launch, it was 69. 69 degrees, 10-degree swing. Every night that week, it was 60 degrees. And that's the biggest key, right? To me, this time of year,
Yeah.
it's not the daytime highs, it's the sunlight, and it's the overnight lows. Like the overnight lows, like if they're 45, there might not be a big movement. But if they're 65, like them suckers are going. Well, some of them went, but a lot of them stayed. And that kind of
10%
blew
of
my
them.
mind. And Joey, congrats to Joey on a huge win, rookie season. That was impressive that held up for 4 days. I was like, there's no way. Like, his fish have got to be going to the hill. They got to be going.
Yeah.
And he just kept catching them. The last day he kept losing them, and I felt so bad for him. And I'm glad he pulled it out, because
I am too.
that was semi-disastrous to watch. And I felt really, really bad for him. But we knew something he didn't know, and that was that he still had it locked up.
Yeah.
But I dedicated my whole tournament to sight fishing and fishing shallow, and ended up with a 16th place finish. We did catch us an 8-pounder on the first day, which was pretty fun.
Saw that.
Caught her off the bed. Always fun to catch 8-pounders, Lewis. By the way, that's my biggest bass in Bassmaster Elite competition. So, and I had never, 14 years of my career, and I had never won big bass in a tour level event in my life. I had missed it by an ounce like 6 times.
Really?
Yep.
That's a.
By gosh, I
fact.
won it that day.
I'm glad you did.
I thought I was going to get the overall bonus too, but there's a daily bonus in bass, and then there's an overall bonus that you get.
Somebody beat it. Oh yeah.
The Japanese
yeah,
rookie
yeah. On the fuzzy dice.
on the fuzzy
Yes.
dice. Yes. Oh, we got to talk about that here.
Yes.
I forgot about the fuzzy dice. When I saw that picture, I about threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
And, dude, that got me so sidetracked I can't even think straight right now.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. That's why you
Yeah,
brought
that's
me.
what you're here for. Yep. So anyway, yeah, sight fishing for me. The whole event ended up 16th. Overall, good event. Coming back from a 56 at Okeechobee, I think we're 20-something in the points now. So we're okay after the Florida swing. You can really bomb the Florida swing, or you can come out looking like looking like king of the crops. But you, Seminole, where'd you finish? You top
Ninth.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hugh's just over here.
Casual.
Just catching bass, kicking,
Just
what,
bass
taking
fishing.
names. That's what he does. But tell me how you caught him, because you weren't doing sight fishing deal. You were fishing, right?
I think I caught
Fishing.
2 off the bed.
Okay, okay.
In 2 days. The first 2 days.
Were they 8-pounders?
No.
I
they
got
were
him.
not. Well, actually, the first day I caught a limit off the bed that weighed about 8 pounds.
Oh, really? You caught a limit off the bed that weighed
Yeah.
8 pounds?
Yeah.
So, what's
Yes,
funny about
sir.
that is Canterbury, leading into Seminole, Canterbury, one of my roommates, one of the Scott Squared, said Seminole has the biggest males of anywhere in the country. He's like, it's nothing to catch 17, 18 pounds of males off the bed there. I'm like, this is going to be
Yeah, this is
freaking
gonna be
fun.
awesome. Yeah.
And I get there, and I saw the same crap you did. I'm like, I called Canterbury like the third day of practice when they started really kind of moving, at least the Bucks did. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure I've seen at least 20 males, and I think the biggest 5 might go 9 pounds.
Right.
Maybe 10 pounds.
Exactly.
And he's like, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. Well, I found out later that the bars were the deal, like not like up on the bank where my DA was.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about, the sandbars,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
deal down there. So that's where a lot of those big males are, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're wondering.
I
But
figured that out pretty late.
yeah. Well, take off with your Seminole wrap up.
Yeah, so, I mean, practice was, again, it was worse than Okeechobee by far. I didn't find anything. I had a couple swim
You're
jig
worse
bites.
than Brian knew.
No, I promise you, I don't lie. Like, I don't care to lie about practice. I'll tell you what I caught, what I didn't catch. I caught 1 4-pounder, and it was on a jerk bait.
But it gave you an idea.
It gave me an idea to waste 3 hours chasing rainbows for the first day of the tournament. At like 9:30, I was like, I better go catch one. I keep watching them on live scope. They'd follow it. I think it got a little too warm, a little too sunny. I had 3 swim jig bites on like a kind of a hard line, but not really a hard line. You know those mats that grew out in front of the hard line?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I had 3 swim jig bites. So at like 12 o'clock, I caught my fish off beds. I caught 1 3-pounder off a dock. I was like, all right, I'm going to that hard line. I'm going to try to catch a couple more 3-pounders, be okay. Well, I ended up catching 2 good ones, have 15 pounds, but I jumped off like a 5.5, 6-pounder. Probably 5 to 6-pounder. Well, the second day, I was like, I'm going to start there. Well, I caught 3 big ones off this. It's one little map point. I got so lucky.
That sound like what you hear what Ike did, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One reed head.
One reed head caught 20 pounds off of it
Right.
first morning, like 10 casts. Canterbury sat there and watched him.
It's amazing how many fish got in like 2 and 3 foot of water. I don't know if those fish were staging
What were they doing
on the
that
bed.
stuff?
I don't know.
No, them fish that Ike caught were not on the bed. They were all like 1 cast deals on a reed head with a white chatterbait.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like, dude, I was throwing a wacky worm or a swim jig to a mat point that stuck out 2 feet farther than the rest of the mats down a 500-yard stretch. It was just one little point that stuck out a little further, and all the fish were right there. There was a little bit of hydrilla, but there was hydrilla for behind me for half
Got
a
to be
mile.
something with bottom composition there.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Did you go up there and stick your rod tip in the bottom, try to figure out what it was?
no, I stayed way off of
Oh,
it.
did you?
Made
Probably
some
a good
casts.
idea.
But I fished. I mean, I fished very popular area of the lake. I guess is what everybody told me. Wingates.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like the biggest community. Dude, there was
Yeah.
nobody out there. Not a single boat.
You mean in front of Wingates?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was nobody. Like,
Huh.
So I went in
Well, so a lot of people, including myself, practiced there. You
and
just
didn't catch anything.
You just found. You just found.
They
a
were
spot
just
in
up
spot.
on the bank more than
Yeah.
they were out in the grass.
Yep.
But then I went in the marina that, come to find out, the Japanese guy wrecked them in
Fuzzy dice.
on the fuzzy
You,
dice
didn't have any,
and a
you did
jig.
not have any fuzzy dice.
I did not have a fuzzy dice. I don't have one of those. I'm going to be making some. I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby, get a little foam cube with
Shane's
some jig
dice.
skirt.
I can see it now.
Yeah, put some nail weights in it,
Yeah.
make it fancy. But,
I watched that thing in the water and I still threw up in my mouth again.
It's
like,
beautiful.
It's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I
in
think
my
they were
life.
carp fishing. Me and a buddy had this conversation. I think somebody was carp fishing. They're like, "Hey, man," and they caught a bass on like a square carp dough ball. They're like, "We got something." You know
Yeah.
how those Japanese guys are? They start thinking. And I'm sure he caught like one
They need to
bass
stop thinking because they
carp
keep
fishing.
beating us when they think.
I mean, dude. I mean, you know how many boats went in that marina? How many boats
A
just
lot.
went in that pocket
Yep.
over 7 days of us fishing? And he still smashed them on the 4th day.
It's
Caught an
beautiful.
8-1 and got beat with a fuzzy dice.
You did. You got me.
He caught an 8-6 on that thing. I think that's what it was on. I haven't seen that catch, but I heard that he scoped it with a spinning rod.
Oh, I'm sure that was
It's
it.
probably the fuzzy dice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Really good confidence booster for me. Y'all got any fuzzy dice for the classic?
Yeah, I got 4 rigged up. What about you?
No comment.
He's over at the Biz Baits factory
Yeah,
making
making
up
'em.
dice.
Hey,
Sousa's on top of it right now.
Right.
Sousa's in the lab.
formulating.
All right, so yeah, real quick, that was Ray Hanselman. If anybody saw pictures of a boat
God.
that was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much in the woods, poor
I saw
Mr.
that.
Ray Hanselman put his boat on the bank the first day of the tournament on
You
blast,
saw it
after
happen?
blast off.
No, I was right behind it. Like,
Oh,
I
God.
stopped, you know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was one of the boats that stopped.
Okay, so were you? Okay, so you didn't see it happen.
No, but it had to be
Because I asked Ray.
because people were still pulling up behind him when I pulled up.
I was concerned if it was like a steering issue or something like that, but he said, and I probably shouldn't even say this, but he said that he wouldn't say who, but he said he got cut off in that turn.
I don't know how.
And he said his only option was to bail.
Yeah.
Now, and I know Ray. Ray's a good dude.
Yeah, Ray's a good guy.
Ray's a very trustworthy individual and a great guy and a heck of a fisherman. I mean, he put his boat in the woods, took it off, and caught 15 pounds.
Dude, I wouldn't have been able to
That's
fish.
pretty strong.
That's awesome.
There's no way I'm going
That's
fishing
awesome.
for the next hour.
Well, here's the thing, dude. I said, Ray, how much damage did it do? He said, none.
Yeah,
I said,
the boat
what do
was
you mean,
fine.
none? I said, your boat was completely in the woods.
It was in the woods.
So
It
it's
was
10
motor
foot
and
from
everything.
the water.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. He's like, it was all sand. And I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, like looking at that riverbank running down it, like there's a lot of places that are not sand.
He hit a gap. I'm telling you right now, he hit a gap in the trees that was perfect for a bass boat. I swear to God, if
100%.
he missed it 5 feet right or 5 feet left, he was not fishing.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, he got very, very fortunate. Obviously, he didn't, but he did.
Well, no, he got very fortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bad deal all around, but overall, you know, and look, I mean, I'm not going to say right or wrong, but if you're getting ready to get into a boating accident and collide with another boat, it's probably the better option to bail.
Yeah.
You know, like, but another thing, I saw this the other day pop up on TikTok. And it's like, you know, that dumb ways to die thing going on now.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't even know who posted it, but it was a guy in a boat with looked like a kid and another guy in a boat, and they're coming at each other, right? Straight at each other. And they're both yielding, but they're both yielding.
The same
The
way.
wrong way.
One's yielding right, the other one's yielding left. And they keep going and going and going. And all of a sudden, right before it says dumb ways to die ends, they come together like this.
Oh, that's yeah.
Okay, like in a 90 degree, and they hit, but they don't show the rest of the video. So, for anybody out there watching, which way do you yield?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a car. If
Makes any sense.
you see a boat coming this way, you go that- I mean,
Always
it's
yield
like
to
a
the
car.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
and don't second guess anything. Go to the right and keep going to the right.
Yeah.
And if they're going to keep doing it, stop.
Just let off.
Like let off. Like
You're
don't
gonna get
keep
to your
going.
spot 20 seconds earlier, or if not, you're gonna be in a boat wreck. So you got two options.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So that pretty much wraps up the elite tournaments. We're good on time here. Don't forget, y'all, at the end of the show, we've got a trivia question giveaway like we always do. Great trivia question tonight. And Mr. Louis Monetti.
You're getting pretty good at that.
Am I getting good?
I wasn't ready for that.
From who actually happens to work at Biz Baits, has a giveaway. He's sponsoring the giveaway. Are you sponsoring it, or is
Yeah,
Brian sponsoring
me.
it? All right, Lewis is sponsoring it. It is the Dream Maker Bundle, which I love the name of that.
That was nice.
And
Good touch,
it's about a
Lewis.
$60 value, but it's Lewis's. I'm assuming it's your favorite baits.
It's the baits that got me to the bracket and won the bracket. So
Perfect.
Baits got me to the
Nice.
classic.
Perfect. It's the baits that got Lewis to the classic, and you're gonna win that bundle if you win the trivia giveaway tonight. So y'all make sure to stay on to the end of the show. All right, let's. The last thing we're gonna do is Shane Lee Hughes is gonna tell y'all how Redcrest will be won, but until we get to that, we're gonna turn it over to Mr. Lewis and tell us about your journey, man.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear about it because we just met tonight for the first time, and thanks for coming down and do the show. But
Absolutely.
it's a pleasure to have you here. I want to hear about your journey and then how much you're looking forward to the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah. Before it goes to like beginning, I want to like go to the absolute end, as in like a week ago, and everything y'all were saying about Seminole sounds exactly how you follow us. Like they should have been coming. They should have been coming. They never came.
So it
was
looked like there
bizarre.
was a handful of fish caught off the bed, but it wasn't a bunch of them up.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple guys who caught them off the bed. I caught one or two off the bed. I'm a shallow guy. I mean, to kind of give a peek into what I'm about to talk about. I made it to where I did with a 96 Ranger with basically no graphs. I mean, I live looking at the bank, and I just kind of ditched that stuff and said, "Oh, they're going to come," and they did not come. I didn't know what to make of it. So I can definitely sympathize with you, Matt, for thinking they were coming, or Shane. I don't know if you were hoping they were coming as well.
I was hoping, but they
they
did
didn't
not.
come.
No.
But kind of go back on it. Yeah, I mean, I originally came from New Jersey. Grew up fishing saltwater. Kind of got into bass fishing in my teens, high school, and at the time, next to guys like Shane, Jake Whitaker, Charlotte was like the place to be in college. I quickly found out in college that I should have went to a place that actually paid for my stuff to go. But that's not a dig on Charlotte. That's me being ignorant. And yeah, I mean, it honestly, and I'll say this, I've actually been saying this to a lot of like younger high school and college guys recently. There's, as much as it does kind of suck to pay for your own stuff in college fishing, if you're a high school guy or you know a high school guy who's getting into college, there's an advantage to going to like a club school like Charlotte. Like there's a gajillion, there's way more club schools than there are team schools. And that advantage is that you kind of get used to the grind that is tournament bass fishing. If you want to make a career of it, it's not all glitz and glam. I mean, y'all can sing the praises of that,
Now,
or not the praises.
Not to interrupt, Lewis, but when you say club and team, when you say team, those are the ones that are school supported that get everything paid for. And club are a lot of the big D1 deals like UNC Charlotte and things like that, to where y'all are having to fund most of your expenses.
Exactly. And most of those team deals are smaller schools that have really invested in bass fishing, which is freaking awesome. You know, giving away scholarships and all that stuff. I would just like to note that if you want to make it as a problem, and not to say that the guys from the bigger fishing schools that pay for your stuff won't make it, because a lot of them will and have. It's just you kind of get to deal with the hardships in college, which sounds like it sucks on the surface, but in a way, you do it with the security of you're still at school. You know, you have some sort of a backing, all of that stuff. I thought it was beneficial, especially going in the opens, and just kind of going into hopefully a career in it, that I kind of learned to deal with managing my time and, you know, working on the side and penny pinching and all that stuff, because y'all can tell her, it's going to happen. You're going to have to do it. So that was definitely a reason why I would suggest maybe don't, just only go for those scholarship schools or those paid for schools. So anyways, went to Charlotte. Honestly, did kind of my first 3 years, made a couple national championships. And then my senior year, I also fished alone my first 3 years out of my old piece of crap boat. And
what year is that Ranger?
1996.
It's one of the good ones.
Oh yeah, 17 foot. And my senior year, partnered up with one of my best friends in the world, Michael, and we put a year together, won team of the year, did it in me fashion, never had a top 10, just straight solid tournaments. I think our worst tournament was 26th and our best was 11th.
Perfect.
That's good.
We won team of the year and got me into the bracket, and then just a magical 3 days at the bracket got me to where I am today. I can't thank Bassmaster and Toyota and Bass Pro Shops, Nitro, Costa, all the bass sponsorships, the biz guys for supporting me all the way through. That opportunity that they give one college kid a year. Yeah, it's only one college kid a year, but it is, talk about a cool opportunity. Boat and truck for a year, all 9 opens, classic. You can't say enough about that opportunity they give you. So that's how I'm here.
Well, that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, that is. I didn't know you were from Jersey. So they said Mercer's got to come up with a nickname for you. And Ryan Sowers suggested Italian Stallion. Now, is Monetti Italian? It has to be right.
It is very Italian.
Okay, just making sure.
And not to give anything away.
Uh-oh. Do you already have a nickname?
No, okay. I don't. But that might work out well given the walkout song.
I like it.
Well, I'm not going to ask what it is. We're not going to spoil the surprise.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeff, David Craig said he ordered new LTF apparel for Redcrest because he wanted to sport at Redcrest, and it has not shipped yet. David, he said he just emailed you today. So. Oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, it's shipping tomorrow. He said it's shipping tomorrow. We'll have it in time for Redcrest. Probably, David. I think David's in North Carolina, Virginia. But yeah. So, somebody asked earlier if we're going to be at Redcrest. So I will be at Redcrest on Friday and Saturday, working at the Toyota booth. Probably Ranger, which is, I'm assuming, White River Marine there. I will bounce into the Costa booth and the TH booth also on Friday and Saturday only. I probably will not be present on Sunday. I actually thought about taking the girls and coming down on Sunday. If one of my buddies, either Wheeler or Thrift or Montgomery, are in the running, might take the girls and come down and watch on Sunday. But I will be working the expo on Friday, Saturday. Shane?
Probably Saturday.
You
Or
don't know- you
no,
don't know
actually
yet?
Sunday.
You don't know yet?
Just Sunday.
Okay, so Sunday.
Yeah, just Sunday.
Where at?
It's going to be probably the Garmin booth and Pure Fishing.
Garmin and Pure Fishing for LaHue on Sunday. Lewis?
Friday and Sunday.
Friday
Toyota, Costa,
And Sunday?
all
Toyota,
around.
Costa, bouncing around.
Just kind
All
of
right.
walking around. Yeah.
Cool. We'll get to see each other on Friday.
Sweet.
All right. So we got a little bit of a you follow wrap up, but that was your first Bassmaster Open. So what'd you think about your first Bassmaster Open?
Them guys are good.
No, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. All right, back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them dudes. Dude, you catch them just as good as every single one of them out there. You just got to figure out the fish. That's all there is to it. But there's a lot of hammers in the opens. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's. I mean, you got Bobby Lanes and your Ishman Rose coming over now. I mean, they just completely bailed on BPT because they said, "Well, EQ for us or bust." And I think they both had mediocre finishes there. It is going to be a gauntlet for sure to qualify for the elites, but man, being young and having a head on your shoulders like you do, I think you got just as good a shot as anybody. But overall, first experience, you finished 70-something, 80-something?
85th, yeah.
85th, okay. It's a good finish, dude. 200, how many boats?
225.
225. 225 boats, 80-something place finish in your first Bassmaster Open. That's pretty strong. It really is. And you were one bite away from, what, a top 40 check.
Had
right?
to bite.
And you had to bite to do it.
Yeah.
So, moving forward, y'all's next Open is where?
Toledo Bend.
And that is
Mid-April.
Mid-April on Toledo Bend. You like fish shallow, so
right.
it sounds to me like it'll be a shallow fest. But yeah, that'll be a fun tournament to watch. I'll be following you this year on the Opens too, because I'm interested to see how that pans out. Obviously, always interested to see the rookie class that we have coming in the elites following year, because each and every year it seems like it just keeps getting stronger.
It
They
does.
keep taking my lunch money, Shane.
Well, mine too.
Yeah, but you're still young. I'm gonna have to think about retirement here.
What, in 20 years?
No, man, I don't want to. I don't know if I want to fish professionally past like 50 or 51. If I'm still competitive, I cannot fish at the tour level and not be competitive and deal with it. Like I would have a whole other set of problems in my mind going on. But when I become, where I can't feel like I can't compete anymore, I'm out. Like I won't. Now I want to stay in the industry somehow, but
Yeah.
we'll figure that out later. Seem to be pretty good at running my mouth sometimes. Maybe I can get a microphone or go commentate. I can. Jesse, you over there, Jeff? And I'm laughing.
I had no comment on the situation, Jeff. How about you?
If Emily's watching, she's probably laughing too. When I said
Y'all,
that.
I'll guarantee it.
But I can commentate and tell everybody how Monetti's over there kicking everybody's butt, and LaHue's out
When
there.
I'm 72 years old, riding around in a camper, my wife's left me.
Love it. All right, so no, I'm not going to start a senior class bass league. I'm not there yet, Ryan. I'm not doing it. So hope to see y'all out at Redcrest this weekend. We'll all be there with smiling faces and ready to shake hands, kiss babies, do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Do whatever
Yeah,
there is
Ricky
to do.
Bobby.
Yep. No, but I am excited. I've never been to Redcrest, and I'm excited to see what it's all about. So pulling hard for our boy Thrift, obviously, who's missing in the
course.
studio tonight. He had a little club derby dinner to go to or something with his. I'm assuming their wives got to go and they got to do the whole dinner thing. The tournament starts tomorrow, if anybody's wondering, by the way. Tournament actually starts tomorrow. Live coverage every day, right?
Right.
On
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
on major league.
I mean, I'm saying, yeah, like,
MajorLeagueFishing.com. Live coverage every day.
FLW.
FLW Fishing. Lewis said FLW Fishing. If you type in
It goes to
FLWFishing.com,
MLF, 'cause that's what I type in
it
every time.
defaults to
See?
Major League
That's-
Fishing.
I type it in every time.
There we go. See?
It's like a habit.
So, I don't know,
I'll
Rusty.
hold
He
that
said
comment.
Thrift fishes Friday. I haven't looked at the brackets yet, so I don't even know when our boys fish. Like, I mean, obviously I'm pulling for Wheeler, Montgomery, Thrift. Those are my guys.
Are they in a
but
bracket? I think they fish every day, don't they? Or the first 2 days?
Yeah, that's right. Everybody fishes the first 2 days, then they cut to like 20, then they cut to like 15, then they cut to 10.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I
It's a
nailed that.
marathon, like 5 days, right?
It's a 5-day tournament.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a 5-day tournament, y'all. It's like,
Yeah, that's nuts.
yeah. I'm gonna have to start working out again if I'm gonna fish in my left one day. Lewis over there laughing. All right, so let's talk about Redcrest. Lewis has quite a bit of experience on Norman. This guy to my left has been there 1 or 2 times. I only catch him when I go with this guy on my left.
False. That's false.
So, I always take pictures when I go with LaHue because we always
That's
got a big
false.
old bag. But we go during the week when there's nobody out there.
Yeah, we cheat.
We cheat. Yeah, that's right. We go when we know we can catch them. I don't go when I know I can't catch them, which is Saturdays and Sundays.
It's a different ball game that when it's Saturday and Sunday.
All right. So you're right. It's so funny because I was talking to
Norman's
somebody.
one of those weird lakes. It's a lot different.
We're going to dive right into Norman, and we're going to give some thoughts on how Redcrest may or may not be won. Lewis is going to give you some thoughts. Shane's going to give you some thoughts and ideas. I'll start off by saying this. We've had some crazy weather. Like, it got super hot, like, for a while.
Yeah.
I don't have a current spawn report for Norman because I haven't been out there since me and you went out and cracked them cranking that one day, which was 3 weeks ago.
Probably no. It's got to be longer than that.
A month ago.
Yeah.
A month ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have a fresh report. Went to Lake James today and caught some bass, but that doesn't help y'all. Second time on the lake in my life, by the way. It's a
Good
cool
man.
lake. Huh?
I hate that place.
You hate that place?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's because you go to the bank.
Yeah.
You can't go to the bank.
now wait a minute. You can.
You can.
You just have to go to different areas of the lake.
I just hate it
Yeah.
because the smallmouth there are fake.
Fake. They're fake smallmouth.
They're inbred.
They're just not as big. Yeah.
True story. They're
Yeah,
like
I mean,
mean mouse.
yeah.
But you know, it's fun. The sad part about Lake James, not to go chasing rabbits here. Sad part about Lake James is I've talked to biologists about the spots and stuff getting in James, and that in probably a decade or so, that there literally may not be a pure strain smallmouth left in that place.
Yeah. I've heard
And that's
that,
sad
yeah.
to think about. It really is. But I mean, as a fisherman, I'm cool with mean mouse. I mean, you know, I am. I mean, they're fun. They're aggressive. They're mean.
the
But
one.
that is one of the few places that we still have relatively close to our area that you can go catch true smallmouth.
Yeah.
Now, they don't act like northern smallmouth at all.
It's
But
the one part of my heritage I'm very proud of.
what's that?
Smallmouth.
All right. So with the recent weather, the super fast warm up, how long did that warm up last? Like, we were gone for a couple of weeks, but it was like 2 weeks here, right? It was
Yeah.
like 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Have you been out on the lake in the last 7-8 days?
Fished a tournament Saturday.
Oh, perfect. Were you in the high school tournament?
Yes, it was.
No, you weren't. Oh, were you? I thought you might have been captaining
No.
for someone. No, pros can't captain in those tournaments. So, what'd you have?
Almost 15.
Solid bag.
6th place.
You would have finished second in the high school tournament, though.
We finished 6th.
Okay, 6 with almost 15.
Yeah. I think we had 1480 or something. 1478, something like that.
You want to tell how you caught them?
That's fine.
Well, don't tell me, tell them.
Wacky worm and a jig.
Wacky worm and a jig. All right, so
Yeah.
that tells me that the fish have definitely made a move,
Yeah.
right?
They have. They're not there yet. Don't get me wrong.
How
They're
many-
Not. It's not like you would think.
How many fish are we going to see caught off the bed tomorrow?
Honestly, I think somebody is going to catch a good bag doing it, but there's not going to be very many. Then
Okay.
there's going to be a bunch of guys catch 1 or 2 at
Okay.
the most.
And that's obviously, for anybody that doesn't know, is going to go around the hot holes somewhere, the upper or lower, right?
Yeah, it's going to go from Ramsey to Davidson, mouth of Davidson.
Okay. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I heard a weird report.
Well, actually, it may.
You getting in all that dock talk, ain't you, Lewis?
Oh, I ain't fishing, so of course.
I'm good with spreading rumors. I ain't in a tournament.
I heard most of the lake is like the same temperature because it's been so warm. So it
Yeah.
could. Is that what you heard?
That's
Yeah.
what I heard.
So,
And
did
we
you
got a
fish-
full moon, but it's just too. It's still too early.
What was
There's
it?
no big wave.
What was the temperature at the mouth of Davidson this past weekend?
58,
It's warm.
Yeah.
What was it in Ramsey?
61.
Oh, it's just 61.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
What
think they've
about
been
Mid-Lake?
pushing a
What
bunch
about
of
around
water
the
out of the
Marshall
bottle.
Steam Station in that area?
I stopped there for a little bit and it was the same, 59, 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty consistent.
Yeah.
From the bridge down.
Yeah, the whole lake is kind of. That's why it's kind of weird.
Interesting. That is weird.
I don't think they've been pushing a whole bunch of water out of the hot hole because they've not been generating a bunch of stuff because nobody's running heat It was around
Okay, so
there.
that's good intel right there.
Right. That's
So-
that's how Duke Energy runs. A lot of it's air, heat,
Right.
electricity. I mean, obviously that's what kicks out.
In the
hot
last
water.
couple of weeks when it's been
You don't
70
have
every
to.
day, you don't run anything.
We've cut off
Just
our
shut her
air
down.
since I've been home pretty much the whole time.
That's interesting. So, what if you had to pick? We're not going to say one pattern. We're going to say 2 techniques
2 techniques.
to come out on top at Redcrest. Obviously, we know how conditional Norman can be.
Very conditional. And you got some weird weather coming. You got
Yeah, it's going to get super cold.
4 nights in the 30s, highs in the mid 50s.
So, taking that in
But
consideration,
the first 2 days are going to be in the 60s, and they're not going to be the ones that are there now aren't going to be affected by tomorrow. Like,
right,
it's,
right.
I know it's going to be
They're
39.
gonna get caught by tomorrow.
They're going to get caught. Yeah, it's the only way they're getting affected.
How much do you think? Well, go back to the technique.
Are they doing 5 fish?
Yes.
Yeah,
five
yeah,
fish.
5 fish.
So it's you really don't follow FOW, do you?
Not anymore.
All right, so he's Bassmaster classic. Technique wise, what 3 bait? Give me 3 baits. It's going to take and give me an area of the lake, not a creek, just a lower third, mid lake, river. Give me a section.
That's hard.
It's hard.
Well, because you would probably fish all 3,
Right.
but I bet the winter doesn't. I bet the winter fishes a third section, unless
Probably.
it's Andy or Brian.
I'm going to say bottom half for longevity. So let's say Mountain Creek down.
From
But I
Mountain
know that's
Creek down.
big
No,
That's
but
big.
that's
still
legit.
kind of
Like
a
that-
third.
That's
because then you got the mid lake that's a third, like 150 to Mountain Creek, and above 150 Skipper's State
Yep.
Park.
Yep.
And State Park up, I would consider the last third.
Do you think the river's going to play at all?
I think the first 1 or 2 days, somebody's going to crack a bag in the river.
But they won't be able to duplicate it.
I rode over the bridge yesterday, and it's got some stain.
40?
Yeah.
Okay.
It came up about a foot,
Ooh.
and they're cranking the water.
It's dirty. It came up a foot,
Yeah.
and they're cranking the water.
Yeah. But that place will raise, like from the 40 to the dam, it'll come up 8 inches to a foot just because of how much water's coming out. And they were cranking the water
So it sounds like recipe for a big bag,
one day.
but not to be duplicated.
No, they're not going to be able to do that 4 days in a row or 5 days in a row.
Do you think somebody will have the
That's
have
like
the
the
guts
sight
to bail
fishermen.
on it after they catch 17 pounds up there one day?
Maybe. But
You
I mean,
would.
Yeah. I mean,
You understand?
I'd have a hard time not starting up there, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Just to see.
That's pretty strong coming from you.
Yeah, and I'm not much, like, I go every now and then, but I'd have a hard time. It'd be planted in my mind.
Okay.
Like, go give it an hour or 2. But, like I said, I hadn't been up there in a while either, so it's hard to tell.
I'm getting some baits on here. Give me your 3 baits. 3 baits that you would have on your deck if you were starting Redcrest.
I mean, it's going to be a jig. It's going to be some kind of a worm. They were biting a jig pretty good the other day. On a
Now,
sh-
wacky worm, was it weightless?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Dude, they're in like 2 foot of water.
I've
They were
heard-
on those floating docks, like where they should be right before they spawn.
You know how bad I wanted to go up there today.
Yeah.
My wife told me I'd be the most hated.
Oh, I know. That's why I
Person
didn't go today.
in
My
North
wife wanted
Carolina.
to go right around the lake. I was like, honey, we can't
I
even
was
go
just-
right around the lake.
I've got my
I
new,
wouldn't have fished. She wanted to go tan.
I've got my new active target too, and I literally
Yeah.
wanted to go somewhere just to dial it in, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Lake James, but I was just going to go to Norman and go out in like 60 foot of water and just play around, like I wasn't actually going to go pound on those shallow.
Yeah.
I probably would have caught some, but I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have done it. Lewis, did you go to Norman today?
No.
Okay, good.
I should have.
No.
I
Three jig, worm, and sorry.
God, it's going to be. I'm going to go with swim bait.
Oh, so no crankbait on the deck. You think it's a
It's
little
too
past
warm.
that?
Yeah, it's too warm.
Past that.
Well, I mean, I think there'll be a few fish caught. Don't get me wrong. There'll be fish, jerk bait. See, Norman, I mean, you can literally go out there and catch them on anything. That's what I love
I'm
about
talking about
Norman.
the wind, man.
I mean, I know, and there's somebody that could catch them on a jig the first 2 days, and the next 3 days they throw a shaky head because they got beat up, and they could win.
Has a multiple day tournament ever been won on a jerkbait there? No.
No, but I'm saying, like, it could be, you got to catch 2 on a jerk bait,
Yeah,
you got to
yeah,
catch
okay.
3 on a
Jump
jig.
fishing,
That's how it's
little
going to
jump
be.
fishing, yeah.
Like, for sure. And somebody that knows a little bit about the lake is going to be better off because they're going to know something that somebody else doesn't. Like,
Okay. Yep.
they're going to know when to make a move, when to quit doing this, go do that.
Okay. And you talk about this time of year, and some people say, oh, you throw the local lake advantage out the window, but not for Norman. And it's because of what you just said.
Right.
They know the
Especially on
adjustments to
a-
make and where to apply them.
And they use the same places every year.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
especially to use on a multi-day tournament. I know there's only 40 boats, which is not a lot of boats. There's still going to be some guys out there fishing,
Yeah.
which, you know,
Oh,
There's
if you
going to
can
be
stay,
that guy.
if you can
They'll
stay
run
off the
Thursday
water, stay
night.
off the water. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all
These
just,
guys are
like,
here for a week, and that's it.
They just need the lake for a few days. Just,
Right.
If
It's
you go out there
still
and fish,
the
just be
pressure
courteous
is
of them.
still going to get to it.
somebody's
Yeah.
going to catch 19 pounds on Friday night.
Oh,
Local's
yeah,
gonna do
yeah,
it.
100%.
Somebody's going to do it.
But those same fish don't bite during the
No.
day. So, I mean, I'm not saying that that's okay, but
Hey, Larry just chimed in.
Larry. Oh,
Gonna have a north wind.
yeah.
So north wind, Southern Banks and Davidson.
Could be. I mean, but I just think the water's a little too warm. And it's very, very clear. It's
Everywhere?
like, no.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean,
Somebody,
not the river, but
Like 150.
what's Mountain Creek look like?
150 is like the stained but clear, weird looking water. You know how it
Yeah.
gets on Norman
Like
when it
the
gets
the way the
filtered?
reed,
filtered.
the way the
Yeah,
reed
yeah,
No, it's
should
almost
look.
like a brown, like sweet tea-ish looking, not like Santee Cooper by any means, but it's got a little
So
tint
you're
of brown.
describing like tannic water.
I mean, it's got that weird water where you're like, oh, it's kind of dirty, and then you put your bait on the water and you see it 2 foot deep.
See, I don't like that color.
No, I get away from that. So if any of the Redcrest guys are watching,
Somebody
hopefully they're
commented.
not, but
Somebody commented, find that muddy water in Mountain Creek. I don't know how much muddy water is in Mountain
there'll be
Creek.
some probably towards the
Mountain's
back, but
always
it's
a
not
player
raining
in
that
big
much.
events.
It
Yeah.
will be.
Rarely is it one in there over multiple
It's
days.
good for
but
a couple days.
It's always a
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I think the guy that I mean, I hate to be cliche and say Andy and Brian, but they just
They have-
understand
yeah.
the conditions. When the conditions change, they know where to go and when to be
Right.
there. You know. So, Lewis, give me your 3 baits.
Wacky worm. I agree with swim bait 100%.
When y'all say swim bait, narrow it down.
Something like a mag draft.
Okay, big swim bait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not giant, but like that 5 to 6 inch.
I agree 100%
Are they on the
with that.
Are they on the glides yet?
I think somebody could catch some on the glide.
Okay.
It might be too warm.
But if the wind does blow one day,
Yeah, mag's gonna play.
mag draft and glide bait could play.
Cool.
Yeah.
That'd
And
be
then
fun to watch.
Yeah.
Third, I mean, this disgusts me to say, but some kind of
If you say shaky head, you're fired.
no.
Okay, good.
It's gonna say worse. Some kind of forward-facing bait.
Yeah, I can
I
see.
think they'll still play as just the world that we live in today. I mean, saw you fall last week, saw Seminole. It just seems like
I told my
But
buddy.
okay, y'all
And
know
with
how
the
Norman
spots.
fishes, and y'all love fishing Norman.
Yeah.
Y'all love fishing shallow. Y'all catch big bag shallow at Norman.
yeah.
Do you really think you could win off your sonar at Norman over 4 days this time of year? Right
It depends if he catches them shallow the first 2 days or catches a big bag doing something,
now. You can't. But what I'm
not
saying, you
looking at live scope.
can't exclusively do that
No.
No,
the
not
whole
for
time
4
it
days.
it win.
No way.
Because
To-
one day you're
the
gonna have
right
nine,
fish
Yeah.
are not there.
One day you're gonna have 9 pounds.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I think.
Yeah.
I just want to get y'all's opinion on it.
Now
because-
one day you could have 17, but for the most part, one day you're gonna, or 1 or
Yeah.
2 days you're gonna have
Now, fast forward to like August, September, you could 100% win. doing it.
100%. Yeah.
And as much as it disgusts me again, I still, I think you could catch 3 big ones off the bank and catch 2
Yeah, that's true.
like 3+ pounders out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting.
But man,
it
to-
absolutely makes me want to throw up, but I think it's possible.
To catch a couple big ones off the bank, though, right? Like you got to get pretty lucky.
You do
Oh,
have
yeah.
to get
to
pretty
do
lucky.
that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
They're very
especially if you don't
nomadic.
know the place.
yeah.
And people don't understand on Norman this time of year, so you know the lake really well. Also, you
Fairly
do.
well.
You know how much the shad spawn used to go on from like 6:30 to 8 o'clock. That is pretty much gone. Norman now, the shad spawn goes on at night, and a lot of the night guys that are watching this can attest to that.
Well, that's
Those
why you see
big-
the giant largemouth caught at night.
Those
all the
big
time.
spots and those big largemouth. I don't know what they do during the day. I have tried for 10 years
You
to
caught
find
them
them.
during the day.
But I have tried, like, I know they suspend somewhere out there or something in the middle of the lake, and I cannot find them. Every now and then I'll catch some big spots doing it, but I'll be hard pressed to find a big largemouth sitting over. And I know that's what they do because they slide up to the bank at about 12 o'clock at night. They feed for 10, 15 minutes, and they slide back out. Or they sit under the docks and just don't bite because they've ate so much the night before.
Q Motley wants to know if a floating worm was going to catch any fish this week in Redcrest.
Yeah, somebody will catch something.
All right. Will anybody catch a bass at Norman this week in Redcrest on the fuzzy dice?
No. I don't know. Somebody might have fuzzy
If
dice
it's
now.
thrown, yeah.
How many of them you think ordered them before Redcrest
Yeah,
started?
actually, probably. Yeah, they will.
I so want to catch a bass on that. Just
I don't even want to throw it. To be
I don't
honest.
even know if you can cast it.
All right, I want to turn one of y'all. Biggest fish in 5 days at Redcrest.
Biggest bass?
Mm-hmm.
6 something.
Yeah, 6 on.
6.
There were 2 7s caught on Saturday.
There was 2 7s.
Oh, was there?
7.5s.
No.
Who caught those?
One was an 8, 796.
Well, that's a 796, Shane. It's not
That's
8.
a pounder. And then Morgan had a 727.
Wow. And he didn't get big bass?
No.
Oh, my word.
And he finished second by
You talk about
a
getting
quarter
your
of an
feelings
ounce.
hurt.
Oh, it got worse. He finished second by a quarter of an ounce, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm still going to stick with,
I'm gonna say
because there's
6
40
something.
guys, I'm going to say 6,
Yeah.
7.
Okay.
6, 7. What do you say?
I want to see like a 7-2.
Okay.
Just
I like
'cause.
that. Good number.
All right. All right. Good stuff.
Quinn said 714. Good God.
7-14.
I like it, Quinn.
We, Eric White wants us to please explain the fuzzy dice. Well, Lewis is up on his fuzzy dice knowledge. Lewis, you want to explain the fuzzy dice?
His name's Koya. Kyoa?
I can't say it. I'm not even
Koya.
going to try.
Man,
I think it's Koya Fujita. He's
Fujita.
the guy to call. It's a dice. It's a little dice, about that big. You put a little hook in it. It's got some fuzz, some like little skirt coming out of it.
Fuzzy dice.
I think you just sight fish with it. That's my understanding.
It's either a fuzzy dice or it's a sugar cube with jig skirt.
Sugar cube.
Sugar cube with jig skirt.
Wouldn't that be illegal and dissolve really
Maybe.
fast?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I mean, it did come out of Japan. They got some pretty good technology over there.
Rod Wills want to know what we caught some fish on at James today. We caught some fish on a jig, caught a couple on a crankbait, caught a couple on a nail weight 5-inch worm. That might be it. We caught one on a swim bait. That's it. Yeah, that's it. A little junk fishing. I was really there to dial in my new active target too, which by the way is pretty darn good. I was real interested to see how much better it was than the active target 1. And I could see a little 3-inch swim bait out there without the sonar jig head and all that fancy stuff at between 90 and 100 feet. I could see my bait.
Wow.
So I was impressed. Before range on seeing my bait was about the 70-ish range to see it good, but I could see it at 90 plus feet. I was impressed, very impressed, and had to get up there and dial it in, even though if I screw around and win the Classic, it will not be off of full basin sonar, because there are guys in the Classic that are better at that than me, and if I beat them, it's going to be doing what I feel like I might be better at them than doing. You know, that's just the way you win tournaments. That's just the way it goes.
Especially a tournament like that.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Trivia question. Did we miss anything, y'all? We did the Elite wrap-up. We did the Bassmaster Classic preview. Oh, we didn't really talk about Loud and Teleco. We got a couple minutes, but Loud and Teleco, what to expect. Oh, I did see a question here on Redcrest. 3-day total. So after the first 2 days, their weights are zeroed.
Yep.
Then they go to 20, then 15, then 10. And that last 3 days, it's a cumulative weight for 3 days. So it's 15 bass. 5 fish a day. Lewis, give me your cumulative weight guess to win Redcrest for the last 3 days.
46.
Wow, so over 15 a day. Shane?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty close, I think. I'm going to say like 43 to 45. I know it's a big range.
Okay, I'll go 40. I'll go 14 a day.
Yeah, that's what I think.
What's that equal? 42?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. 42. 42 for me.
I mean, I honestly, I've seen Norman fishing this year better than I have.
Sheesh. 2 people saying 51.
51. Woo, that's stout.
Yeah, that's a lot.
17
I just
a
think with
day.
the weather coming, if it would have stayed warm, it would
Yeah.
have for 3 days.
Y'all, that's not the
50 something.
trivia question, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm getting a whole lot of answers coming in quick. All right, over 200 viewers have hung around long enough to make an attempt at winning the Dream Maker bundle from Louis Monetti and Biz Bates. Well, I'm not going to call you the Italian stallion because I'm good. It just rolls off the tongue a little weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Leave it to Mercer.
What does the Dream Maker bundle include from Biz Baits? I know it's the baits that you use to win the national championship down at Lake Greenwood, but what are the baits?
Man, we got 2 different jigs in there. We got a skipping jig, we got a finesse jig, 2 different trailers for it. Baby Biz Bug, our cutter craw. Got some sassy sticks in there. My favorite bait we make. It's it's hard to convince on a stick bait, but that's my favorite. It's a bad dude.
What color is it? What color is a stick bait?
Oh, black and green pumpkin magic. The only 2 you need.
Oh, 2 different ones. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
got
you
2
got a
different
black
colors.
one and a green pumpkin magic.
Yeah, and then I got a buzz bait in there. Got a spinner bait in there. It's like for what it is. There's a bunch of stuff in there, and it helped me all year long. All that stuff. So it's a badass bundle.
All right, so a BAB. It's a BAB.
Bad, yeah.
It's a badass bundle. It's a BAB.
I like it.
Yeah, over about $60 value, so guaranteed to catch fish or your money back.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
Lewis is going to pay you $60 so it don't work.
It's or your money back because they don't pay for it.
Is Brian watching? Is Brian watching? You got a warranty with your baits? Yeah, we got a warranty. All right. Trivia question time. Tyler, I did good. I didn't give away the answer.
Nope. Nobody
Did.
Yeah. But it's not over yet. I can still
it's
give it
not.
away.
We're
All right, so the
getting
way this
dangerously
works,
close.
Lewis, Shane, you kind of know how it works. Y'all watch your feed, and the first correct answer that comes across your feed, if you see it before I do, let me know the name of the winner. While people are guessing, we will try to Ryan wants to know who had the higher GPA through college, Matt or Lewis? Probably Lewis.
3-2.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Mine was a 3-1. I ain't going to lie and say, Jimmy Houston will always say, what's your biggest bass, Lewis? And you say,
Can I answer this?
yeah. No, what's your biggest bass ever?
7-1.
Mine was a 7-2. So that's the way Jimmy Houston would ask
Oh,
people,
yeah.
So I could have been like, oh, well, look, mine was a 3-3, but no, I'm going to be honest. It was actually a 3-1.
How about that?
I'm just glad I graduated. It
Me
took
too.
me over 4 years also to graduate. So
Yeah.
maybe not you. You graduated in 4 years?
4 somehow, some way.
4, okay. Yep. 4.5 plus some summer school classes and things like that. Jeff's over here with his backpack on. He's ready to go. Time for the trivia question. All right, so trivia question time. Again, the giveaway is sponsored by Lewis and Biz Baits tonight with a Dream Maker bundle shipped out to you. He said tomorrow. He
It'll
said
go tomorrow.
Get it out to you tomorrow.
It'll go tomorrow.
We need to know, during Lewis's domination of Lake Greenwood when he qualified for the Bassmaster Classic and won the national championship down there, over the course of the tournament, what was, to pounds and ounces, the largest bass that he caught during that event? I need to know in pounds, and it was not 23, Sammy Moore. In pounds and ounces, what was the largest bass he caught? Good night, that was quick. Did y'all see that?
Yeah. Trevor?
Now, do you know that guy?
Very well.
I hate giving it to a friend.
Me too.
Can he get?
was ready. Did
can
you
he get
text
free
him?
baits from you?
Yes, that don't count. The next
That don't count.
Next one
All
counts.
right,
I ain't
Lewis,
counting him. I
Lewis
ain't
said
counting him.
he's not counting.
I ain't
that
got him.
one.
Sorry, Trevor. I love you. Ooh, I said his
just
name.
told him what it was.
They're gonna have to go back. Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. That's it. Daniel Jones. Do you know Daniel Jones? Is
I
he a
don't know.
friend
I mean,
or a
he's the
family
Giants
member?
quarterback. Just got signed to a $58 million extension.
He follows
Feel like that's not
Lewis
him.
very well.
Trevor, sorry you got nixed. Daniel Jones was the next correct answer at 6.0.
I'm gonna make sure
pounds.
nobody else said it beforehand.
That's what I
While
have.
we were getting distracted.
I have
I don't
Daniel
think it was.
Jones.
I don't think so either.
Daniel
yeah,
Jones.
Daniel
is the one I
Jones.
have. Yep. Sorry, Trevor. You got axed by your boy Lewis. Daniel Jones.
Sorry,
now listen,
Trevor.
Daniel. Send us a message on our Facebook page with your shipping information, and we'll get that over to Lewis and Biz Baits, and they'll get your prize pack out to you ASAP tomorrow. Actually, to be
Trevor, I'll
exact.
give you a hug.
Trevor, you get a hug from Lewis,
Yeah.
from the Italian Stallion.
What's in the feed?
All right. So first off, Shane, thanks for coming.
Yep, thank you.
Lewis, thanks
Always
for
a
coming.
pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
We got a lot to look forward to.
Yes, we do.
We
All
got-
3 of us.
We got the Redcrest Expo coming up. Look, you didn't look very excited.
Why'd I
about
laugh?
that. He's only going.
I gotta
one
go
day.
to work. I don't get to go fishing. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but come on, man. You
I mean,
like-
I like going and seeing everybody. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I do.
I enjoy that.
I do.
Y'all, if you're in the area, you know what the bad thing is? It's not at the. Where is the Redcrest Expo?
It's in Charlotte.
It's at some kind of
It's
park.
like
in the
it's
park
right
center.
by the Bojangles Coliseum, the old Bojangles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back where Alonzo
east.
Mourning and Larry Johnson used to play, Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a bare naked ladies concert there one time. That's right. Yeah,
that was rowdy.
Yeah.
Was I live?
You probably were not actually.
Dang.
I was in high school, so you were. How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
23.
23.
There's a
You're
chance.
the one. Nope, you weren't alive.
Dang.
You were almost born. You might have been in the womb.
Q's got it. Park Expo Center. That's it.
Park Expo and
Expo.
Commerce
Yeah, that's
Center.
it.
Nice.
All right, so we'll see y'all there hopefully this weekend. Friday, Saturday, I'll be there. Sunday for LaHue, Friday and Sunday for
Yeah.
Lewis. Tyler, are you going?
I will be there.
Great Outdoors?
Great Outdoors. Friday.
'Kay.
Saturday and Sunday, I may be in a different booth. This has not been confirmed yet.
4 days prior, he didn't know if he's going and what day he's going. You don't know where you're going to be. Lewis knows where he's going to be. I know where I'm going to be.
We're locked in.
What?
We're locked in. I mean, we're locked in. We know exactly what's going on.
Mass confusion or something?
Yeah.
It's basically the best.
You just got to roll with it.
Right. I mean,
It's the way we roll. We have no idea where we're supposed to be or when we're supposed to be there. But hope to see you there. All right, y'all. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, over 200 viewers tonight. Don't forget, we do our shows live on YouTube now, but they all are sent over to all the podcast platforms, and that's where the majority of our listeners come from. We do appreciate the support. We appreciate English Choice Marine. Appreciate Shane. Appreciate Lewis. Appreciate Tyler. Because if it wasn't for Jeff, the show wouldn't exist. But Tyler's here because Jeff really doesn't want to be here. No, I'm kidding. Jeff's waiting on us to go to dinner, though.
Yeah,
all right. Y'all don't know how we sign off, so I'll have to sign off.
I mean, I don't even know when I'm going to the expo, man. Yeah, go for it.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. And
Thank
when
y'all.
we can't go fishing, we'll sit right here on Tuesday nights and talk fish. We'll see y'all